I'm Dana Denha, and you're watching FYI. Technology is rapidly evolving in ways we never thought would happen in our lifetime. More tech companies are finding a home in Ann Arbor, and now they're revealing all the products and services that are currently available to make our lives easier.
Talk the talk and walk the walk at Tech Talk Tech Trek 2018.
Tech Talk featured 13 speakers, all innovators in our community who gave talks to inspire people to think a little bit differently about the world around them. And Mobility Row, 20 different mobility companies, all headquartered and based in the Ann Arbor region, are showing off their assets, the technology developed right here in our own backyard.
Technology is a growing field to create the next step in career mobility.
These businesses are creating jobs, attracting investment, and they're really part of this vibrant community. It's great to inspire people to think about working here and to have some pride in all of the great things happening in Ann Arbor.
We partner with Autonomous Safety, who does drones for first responders. So we're showing some of their stuff, and then we're also showing our asset tracking system for factory software. So we have a tag, you can walk around down here, and our software is able to track and show you where you're at.
We are involved in fleet management, IoT space. We track cars, buses, ambulances, you name the vehicle, we can track it.
These companies are actually hiring in our community, they're attracting investment. That's good, that's a way that we grow our economy, and it's a way to keep Ann Arbor as a global destination for innovation.
Stay tuned, and we'll be back shortly with more news and information. In Washtenaw County, you probably noticed quite a few airplanes overhead, and that is due to the airport that has resided in our community since the 1930s. Check out their yearly celebration, bringing the excitement of flight to our youth.
Sundays are usually brunch days, but instead of having that meal at a restaurant, how about at the Ann Arbor Airport during their pancake breakfast?
There is pancakes, and then outside people have brought in some airplanes, some older airplanes. Then we got a couple of gyrocopters.
People can come out and meet people from the airport and see what the airport is from the inside of the fence.
Once the dishes were done, people could get up close and personal with one-of-a-kind aircrafts.
The Experimental Aircraft Association was originally founded to support pilots who build their own airplanes and fly them. And we've got a couple airplanes like that here today, but we've also got regular production airplanes, and our EAA members have brought out everything from a vintage Stearman biplane, which was a trainer in World War II, all the way up to some more modern light sport aircraft.
I like watching all of the people come together, and especially watch the kids play with the airplanes, because I think it's really fun to get little kids involved in aviation.
As a pilot, myself, I've been around it my whole life, and a lot of people, I think they see an airplane and think, wow, I wonder what it's like to be a pilot. And it's a lot more achievable than I think a lot of people think. It's a little different from driving a car, but it provides a tremendous amount of freedom, and it's a very exhilarating experience.
The Ann Arbor Farmers Market is in full bloom. Learn all the tips for shopping locally from a market insider in this month's City Roundup in 60.
Hi, my name is Stephanie Willett. I'm the Ann Arbor Farmers Market Manager. We are here right now at the Carytown District neighborhood at the Ann Arbor Farmers Market. Ann Arbor Market has been around since 1919 and is over 98 years old. So I really encourage you to come out and visit us this summer. We are open year-round, Saturdays and Wednesdays from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Right now we have so much local produce that's fresh, local, and all of our vendors grow their own products. You can find vegetables here, but you can also find artisans, you can find bread, meat, cheese, crafts. stop in our office and you can swipe your credit card to receive market bucks and market money to spend. Also, if you have an EBT or bridge card, we can give you market money to spend here with that, plus double your bucks for free with our Double Up Food Buck program. Come take a look. We have corn, heirloom tomatoes, things you won't be able to find in the store right now. It's so fresh. Visit us at a2gov.org/market.
Art comes in many forms, but there's nothing quite like the artistry that goes into forming steel, molding leather, and fine-tuned electronics. Every year, the downtown honors the automotive industry during the Rolling Sculpture Car Show. Joining me is Tim Pott, Master Mechanic at Automotive Techniques, and Ben Colman, Chair for the Rolling Sculpture Car Show Committee. Welcome back to the show, guys.
Nice to be here again.
So, you know, we've talked about this for quite a few years now. Is there anything we can expect that's maybe different this year, or maybe the same sort of stuff, but why we should continue to come visit the Rolling Sculpture Car Show?
Well, this year, what we've done for the past several years is have a specialty group of cars by invitation. We've had Studebakers, we've had station wagons, we had the DeSoto Club. This year, Corvairs, which were made in Ypsilanti.
What is a Corvair?
Corvair is a small rear-engined car in several different editions. It was made, you remember when it was made, the mid to late 60s?
Mid to late 60s, yeah.
It's notorious for being signaled out by Ralph Nader as the car that he wrote about in Unsafe at Any Speed.
Okay.
It was, Ralph Nader decided to pan it, which made it a collector's item much more quickly, I think.
Yeah. Do you find it hard to find like these specialty cars, or it's usually like there are people in the area that are willing to bring their cars out for the show?
Yeah, one of the things that's remarkable is how many closet car freaks there are in Ann Arbor. And you know, you don't see them necessarily on a day-to-day basis, but when you get this show together, it really brings them out. And Ben and I were talking before the program, and it's really a unique show in that it's not a themed event. You know, a lot of car shows will feature British cars or Italian cars or something like that. This is just a family car show, and there's something for everybody, and that's not unique to this year, but it's unique to this car show.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, you guys, I like to always ask you, maybe last year, what was maybe your favorite top pick from last year that you saw, if you remember?
Do I remember? Well,
it was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was a whole year ago, Dan. I liked the Panhard that got my trophy. We sponsor a trophy every year, and the business I'm working for has taken that over this year, Automotive Techniques, and it's a French car. The French do things very differently when it comes to automotive technology, and they're sort of more into art than they are into form and function, you know. So this is what's called a Panhard. It had some very unique features that stuck out. Another car I liked that got my trophy a few years back was a VW bus that the gentleman had shortened and lowered.
Okay, yeah.
So, and it was just kind of bizarre and unique, and it sticks in my mind.
I remember that bus, the customized bus. Talked with the owner of it after the awards presentation, and it was his first year in the show. It's his first time at the Rolling Sculpture, and he won the prize. He said, "I like this show." He says, "I'll come back."
Well, that's like the fun thing about this show too, that I think we always kind of mention, is that like you do have a lot of custom work where people are kind of making their own creations. It's not like the typical things you'd see on the road. And it's interesting that you mentioned like a lot of people in Ann Arbor are car enthusiasts, because like you don't see a ton of like classic cars and stuff. I feel like, I mean, you guys know who Bob Elton is because he used to run the Rolling Sculpture Car Show before. On occasion, I will see him driving around, and I feel like that's like the only like classic cars I really see a lot of are his.
Yeah.
Well, he's going to be in the show this year.
Yeah.
And his Roadster is custom built. It's a one of a kind, built by Bob himself. So it's unique in that.
Yeah, yeah. And do you guys always have that Ann Arbor car there? I feel like that's like a staple.
It is a staple, and I was going to ask Ben, I don't know, did he register this year?
I believe so. Usually we have the Ann Arbor, which belongs to a gentleman named Art French, and oh, I'm blanking on his name, but we also have Detroit Electric, which was built in the 1915, 1916. So electric obviously has come full circle from the early 1900s to the 2000s.
Mm-hmm. Why do you think people continue to come back with their cars? Is it just like the atmosphere and like having, like sharing what they have?
It's just a really fun event.
Yeah.
You know, these people, a lot of these cars don't see a lot of use on the street.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them are built and primarily just go to car shows. And, you know, this has grown to be such a big and popular event that it's kind of a not to be missed thing by a lot of these people.
Yeah.
So they come back and we get new people, and some people eventually drop out. You know, we lose a few, but we always pick up new stuff along the way. So.
I mean, you guys are both like gearheads. So if you had like a dream car that could roll into that festival, do you have anything in mind that you would just love to see in person that you really haven't had the chance?
I see a lot of cars.
I assume you do, yeah. And you see expensive cars,
I see a lot of exotic cars. So I don't want to say I've seen it all. I'm sure there would be something that I would love to see, but nothing springs to mind because, you know, I sort of live that. That's my profession.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. Ben, what do you got?
I appreciate a lot of different cars. I think I love some of the French automobiles. I think their sense of design and styling is unique. Delages, Delahayes. I mean, they're beautiful automobiles. If I were to single out a car, it would be a car that I owned a bunch of years ago. It was a 1963 Porsche 356B Super. I'd love to have that car again. It's a driver's car. It's you know. Came with the radio, and I don't think I ever turned the radio on because I was having so much fun listening to the sound of the motor. But it's just fun cars to drive. I don't need a car that's all electronic. I want to kind of interact with the car.
You want something that's decades old that you're not just gonna like press buttons and.
Right.
I mean, even now, like a normal car, when you buy it, just like a 2018 model of something, it's like you get in the car and you're like, I don't know what I'm doing. You know, like everything's so electronic now that it's like you have to get used to it.
Well, Tim and I were talking about before this that cars today, they all look the same. There's not that much diversity in cars that are made today. In rolling sculpture, you're going to see a variety. You're going to see Porsches, you're going to see Deux Chevaux, you're going to see Citroens, you're going to see Eldorados. The range of automotive manufacturing and design it's there at the show. It's not just a cookie cutter show.
Yeah, for sure. When is it?
Friday the 13th of July, 2 to 10 p.m.
Okay, and then like like Main Street's closed, and then a couple side streets are closed.
Correct. Right. Yep. Main from William to Huron, and then Washington and Liberty from Ashley to 4th. The specialty car group will be on Liberty Street in front of the Federal Building between 4th and 5th.
Okay, that's where you can see the Corvairs.
Correct.
Yeah.
While we're talking about that, I would like to mention some of our sponsors. Once again, we're fortunate to have Bill Crispin Chevrolet sponsoring the show again this year as title sponsor. Some of the award sponsors are 2 international car magazines that are located in Ann Arbor, Car and Driver and Road and Track. They will be bringing cars from their test fleet, so count on seeing something interesting from cars that they're writing about. One of the awards that we were talking earlier that's kind of an interesting one in terms of working on cars, there is a Skin Knuckles Award for people who maintain their own car, who restore and maintain their own car, rather than having it done commercially.
Is that typical, do you find?
No.
No, it's not. Okay.
There are 2 kinds of people who restore or build cars.
Yeah.
There's the kind that do that themselves, and there's the type that write checks.
Yeah. Yeah.
and there's a lot of check writers. But that doesn't detract from the fact that they, you know, are passionate about these cars.
Yeah.
And you know, are genuine car people.
Yeah.
It's just some people, you know, and I too try to give my trophy to somebody who
Works on it with
works
their
on
own
it
hands.
themselves.
Yeah.
It honors the you know the craft a little bit more.
So you guys actually have some music and stuff, and you have some activities for the kids as well.
Yes, Ann Arbor District Library has a booth on Liberty near Main Street for children. And Surfer Joe, local DJ, will be back. I think this is his 10th year of being at the show. He'll be playing cartoons. If you've got a cartoon you like, go and ask Surfer Joe. He'll play it for you, and I'm sure he'll do it. Yeah,
I've definitely seen some people cutting a rug there too.
Yeah, that happens now and again.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we're out of time, but if you want to just tell people why they should head out this year.
It's a family event. It's a lot of fun. The weather, you know, it's on rain or shine, but we've been very lucky in that we've always had good weather.
Oh, knock on wood.
Yeah, knock on wood for that. It's just a great, fun family event. Have dinner downtown.
And it's a long event, so you have like all day. It's not like one of those events where it's like 2-3 hours. You have like 8 hours to go check it out.
Yeah.
Yep. So. It's a bring what you got car show. Come on down and see the variety of automotive sculpture.
All right. Well, thank you both for coming back on the show.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
For more on this and other programs, visit a2gov.org/watchctn. Thanks for watching, and tune in next time to FYI.